Welcome back, Kane Sam, to another film review. A little closer than we liked at the end, but it's still a big dub over our rivals. So we'll take that any day. 6-0 in the state of Florida. We run the state, so let's get straight into it. Look, you know how Gus Malzahn is. He likes to get cute a lot, get the receiver motion in. This actually works out well for him. They fake this handoff to the receiver and get downfield on the running back wheel route. Perfect play call versus this defense because we're sending our safety Thomas, which we do repeatedly. He comes in late on this blitz. So you have Lucas in man coverage going inside. Now you have Toure who's responsible for him. And so now this guy is unaccounted for down the numbers. So just a good play call, timely play call versus our safety blitz. They catch us slipping on that one. We knew his legs, Castellano's legs, were going to be a factor, especially when we're playing man coverage on the back end. Here comes the space in between the gaps. He was able to make these plays. He did, I believe, in my opinion, tire down our defensive line, especially when we started playing that softer coverage in the back end of the game, fourth quarter, namely, and we didn't get that much rush. It's because of plays like this where we're chasing this guy down. So he made his plays, throughout the game. But I do think after this first drive from Florida State, the defense tightens up all the way until pretty much the fourth quarter. They're motioning over. Wesley's following, just getting in position. So it looks like a zone coverage. Nobody's there. Castellanos now decides to run. It's a great job here from Wesley Saint, closing down. Who had a great game, breaking down and getting this guy down here. So we bended and did not break here on this drive. So this 3 points was their only points for a vast majority of the game. And this was just a great job here from Wesley. He set the tone. Good hustle from Moten coming down at backside pursuit as well. But just a great job from Wesley getting Castellanos down 1-0. Thomas put in probably one of the better performances versus Florida State in recent memory. I wouldn't say all time because we know who that is at the rain game, but blitzing here again, using his athleticism, putting his aggressiveness in display. This frees up Mesidor as you got a guy who's now accounting for that blitz, the right tackle, and just a great job here for Ruben Bain sitting here on this pool. We took care of the running back. Here's Mesidor sitting here. He's taking care of the running back. Castellano has to rightfully so pull it since Mesidor is right here. Now, Bain's outside. Mesidor ends up getting the TFL, but that's just great team defense. You're bringing in a blitz. You confuse the offensive line. You're supposed to get that inside guy. There's no way Castellanos wants to let this guy come right in. I know you got to read somebody, but there was nobody there. There was definitely some forced miscommunication on the offensive line due to the blitz, and we get Mesidor in the backfield for it. They're trying to use our play. Technically, it's Rhett Lashley's play, but 2021 versus Pittsburgh, we pulled this out for a big tutty to Mallory. This is the handoff and the pistol set with the receiver coming in on the reverse who taps it back to the quarterback, and Bain's able to just pursue, and you throw backfield, you throw a back shoulder ball to the tight end up the seam. That was Mallory on the touchdown. Last time we ran this thing. So Florida State's just trying to take some of our riz, some of our sauce, but Bain takes this guy out the equation. Now he's chasing. Looked like he had some space to run. This is just a great job by the whole entire defensive line closing that space and makes him have to throw an errant throw with Toure up coverage. So not fooled. Was waiting for it to happen more frequently, but the receiver room has been able to create separation, especially in one-on-one coverage. Spoilers to y'all who watched my film review on the receivers before the game, because our receivers are capable of making these type of plays here. One-on-one situation, 19 did not have a nice day. We'll get to him now and in a second. So this is CJ eating up the space, eating up the cushion, and then gives him a pop at the top, gets over top. This is a beautiful ball from Carson Beck, who first time finally not playing in a rain game is able to air it out the way he wants to, push this ball out. It's a perfect rainbow ball, moon ball. You want it to go out and fall nose in. You see that nose down, dropping into it. That's just a perfect ball here. And just CJ making these type of plays, man. We knew from game one he was a playmaker, but tracking that ball in the air, getting over the top, safety couldn't get over because he stacked him. He went on top of him. This is the corner that he beat. The safety's also underneath him, and then straight hands, concentrating, getting the ball down. So Big job here from CJ. He's obviously made a lot of big plays vertically for us, not as much as we would like, but this is promising sign. And these gloves are tough. These green gloves, tough. Not gonna hold y'all. I was a little worried on this one. Bauman, bro, I feel you. This was a tough catch. We're sneaking him outside. This a lot of everything going right. Then we're pulling in play action, trying to hit CJ here. We go to the second read, which is Bauman. This is a tough tight end catch here. I was a little worried when I saw this ball go. This is Carson Beck feeling it and putting it right on his tight end's chest. But thankfully, good tough catch there. I was a little worried for a second. Not gonna hold you. Appreciate you, A7. Second and goal, we're in our 12 formation. So 2 tight ends here. This looks like we're running it. It is an RPO. So now we secure this one-on-one with 19, who just could not cover CJ one-on-one down the field. Now he does not fare much better here in the red zone. So just lower him to sleep, eat that cushion and the separation from the DB. The DB is already in the goal line. He's already right there. So go ahead and close that gap. Left, right, steal his inside leverage. Easy money from CJ. This definitely looks like taking candy from a baby. Just hesitation. This is what they call the suddenness, right? So slow down, boom, boom, left, right. Get him literally jumping outside of his frame. Now CJ has this big window here. Carson Beck pulled it. He knew he was pulling it this whole time. It felt like Carson Beck wanted to make a statement the way he was throwing the football out there. Like, yeah, have you guys not checked? I know on TV doesn't look like it was raining, but it's been raining this whole year. Now I'm finally going out there and laying these balls out. Just a very explosive and efficient offense throughout most of this game. Usually when Florida State move the ball, they call us in something. So we're dropping our DN out here to the flats, and we're bringing a linebacker. So when this tight end is blocking, and then releases, that opening in the middle of the field is going to be inevitable. So just a good time to catch us blitzing our middle linebacker here and dropping a DN here to the flat. So he's coming here. There's nobody in the middle. Castellanos does his little jump pass. So some timely play calling from Florida State, but not much going their way at all. FSU is trying to catch us here. They're looking at the sideline. So this is intentional. So because you see that clap, so he's letting the center know to get him that ball. However, when they ran this in practice, they probably didn't think that, they probably didn't have an Ahmad Moten pushing up the middle of the pocket here, beating a double team and getting right into Castellanos' face, who has to do a late jump pass over the middle. Anytime you're late over the middle, that you already know that most likely that's going to get picked. So love the responsibility given to a true freshman, Bryce Fitzgerald. He leads the team in interceptions here. You have senior, laden, players. You got upperclassmen. You got at safety with Poyser and I guess Poyser's not an upperclassman yet, but just a true freshman having the responsibility to be the safety that's going deep while the other safety's shooting under. This looks like a shell going deep third. Bryce is in the middle of the field. So when Moten just go ahead and collapses that pocket from the front, you see Bain coming around, most likely getting held here. So the defensive line. So when you run this play for Florida State, there's no way to emulate our defensive line this pressure. So Castellanos pops one deep, and our true freshman with his third interception of the year, taking it back for 43 yards. I mean, he is special. You want to throw some late over the middle with Bryce Fitzgerald back there. That is not going to work for you, brother. Then we motion in here. They're in a too high set. This is crazy. Back-to-back freshman plays. So we motion in here, right? Flea flicker. You're going to see Earl Little. I love how they highlighted it in the game. Earl Little jumps on that run fake because he's very super aggressive in the run game. He jumps on it. Mally gets over the top for a center. Malachi Tony had one to kind of go through his hands. Would have been a tough one on the deep post. Carson Beck deep ball was immaculate last night. I mean, this was just big time plays. This was hunting. Whew, this is lovely. This is what we wanted to see. We don't want to see Carson Beck in the ground there, but this is exactly what happens, right? So you have Earl Little jumps in, and now you go ahead and stem here. This safety is all that Mally has to deal with you. So you give him the rocker step left, right, pop, freeze him for a second. And now I'm over here. I got all this space that Earl Little vacated for me. Drops it right on the bucket, man. Let's go. Canes, dog. Just one of the biggest differences from last year's defense is safeties heavily involved in making plays, not heavily involved in the plays being made against us. So this is a very aggressive look here. We sent Thomas. He's streaking down field, and this is Poyser coming in the box. This is pretty much, mono on the back end if they throw the ball. They don't. to get this run game over. It cuts it back over to the left. Here comes this safety. Now it gets into it. Poyser puts his hand right on the football and rips this thing off. This is what happens when you have just aggressive safeties and they can come down and actually make plays for you. You have Thomas here, which makes this running back cut back inside because he's over here filling this in with Bain. Now he's coming back outside. All right, let me get across the formation. Boom. Hand right on the foot. Look at that pause work. I know y'all see that space bar work. Hand right on the football, bro. Sheesh, with the recovery from Keontae Scott, who's been everywhere, probably playing some of the best nickel football, if not the best nickel football in the nation. But just great job here from Poyser, man. Just I remember 32 was looking at his hands on the sideline like this. It was crazy. It was just great job ripping that thing right out. And look at how much white jerseys are diving on the football, man. We were flying to the football. If it wasn't Keontae Scott getting it, it would have been Moten. It would have been somebody. There was multiple UM bodies. Wesley. Everybody just diving on that football right here. Boom. Great job here, just creating turnovers. This hurt so bad watching this get called back because this is kind of feels like that Florida call with the blow and whistle that we just got robbed the tutty, but it is a penalty. You cannot start going up before that ball is snapped. So as a fifth-year senior, I was hyping him up in my review for some of the plays he made. This was not his best game, including going forward before the ball was snapped. That's going to wipe out a penalty. If this was a holding call and you're like, that's why he scored. This is not. This is just Maddie God-given talent. We'll just go through it here from the trips. A motion here to the trip side. Here's Mally coming across. It was a beautiful play call. It worked perfectly. We get the mesh concept with Bowman picking this guy off. You see the tight end coming in. This was perfect, man. Everything about it was perfect. He was so wide open. And boom, foot in the dirt, 19. You can't make an open field tackle. You can't cover CJ. 19 had a very rough day. And just stiff-arming a guy to the ground and making it all the way to the end zone, staying in. I mean, just legendary performance here from Malachi Toney. It just sucks that it had to get taken back because we went ahead on this on that motion. So that had nothing. The penalty had nothing to do with the play. This was all Toney, and I'm pretty sure someone's you're gonna have to hold Zero accountable in some type of way for that. Even though he's made some plays as well. That definitely that's tough, man. A pre-snap or procedural penalty that taking points off the board, that's tough. This is nasty, man. You're bringing it. We'll start off with what FSU's in a 2x2 set. The tight end here is in. We're blitzing our linebacker, right? But he's gonna get close. He's gonna get close to Mesidor and fake like he's going inside and come right back outside. This is like a late stunt that puts that tackle in a bind, which allows when the running back does a good job picking up Toure, but that allows that tackle to just get beat by Mesidor from that late switch, right? Because it looks like, oh my God, they're coming in. Toure and Mesidor are coming inside, then boom, last step foot in the ground and gets around. That's actually what frees Mesidor up for this big sack. So great job here from scheming, man. Just simple downhill physical football, flying, applying pressure. When we were playing this type of football, they could not move the football against us. The defense was lights out. So hats off to the aggressiveness through the first few quarters. Again, we love these tight formations here with a 13 set here. We got CJ up top, a tight end here with Malley. Everybody's worried about our two receivers. They made plays all over the field today. They go ahead and clear out for this one-on-one right here to Bauman, who converts this first down. Probably had his best game as a Hurricane, as a receiver for sure. Made a couple catches this game, so able to go ahead and get on the stat sheet. Love it. Nice little simple play out of our stack for bunch formations. It puts defenses in such conflict because we love these bunch formation. It gives free releases to our receivers. It gives free certified space. However, they're so aggressive in the running game. So as a defense, you really don't know what's coming because we can grind out these 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 yard gains, even though it's a condensed box and we have more numbers and we're inviting more numbers in the box. We're so efficient running the football like that. And so just flipping of what we just did last play on 3rd and 2, instead of Malley and CJ clearing out, now CJ and Bauman are clearing out for Malley. Right here in the same spot. Lower arm to sleep right here in this space. Get around. This is veteran stuff here from Carson Beck, knowing exactly when he's going to turn that football around. You got Bauman clearing up, CJ going inside. Too much space for 19 to react to Malley. There was no way he was going to be able to react to this cover, especially since he jumped outside because he had to go around Bauman. This is just great play design here. This is Shannon Dawson, mwah, and then Malley making the most. Gets his hand over here. Great job here from Carson Beck, leading him forward with this football. Go ahead and catch and run this thing. And then he's going to dead leg Earl Little. Sets this, man, so special, man. Just so special. But this is just great job here. He's running back out this way, setting up this cutback. Now I'm dead legging, turning you around and getting all the way to the house. Just very special, man. You're not going to see 17-year-olds or 18-year-old true freshmen doing this. Again, it's just really, really special what we're seeing here. And again, these gloves are tough, bro. These green gloves, yeah, they going hard, man. They going hard. Adidas did their thing. I know Mike going crazy. We was all going crazy. Carson Beck going crazy. Imagine just the relief of Carson Beck to go from what he went through to throw 5-yard hitches and go 40-yard touchdown. So the talent is just, the play design is just great job. These type of plays added to our fatigue of the D-line, in that fourth quarter when we just started dropping back. These are the type of plays. So we're bringing Thomas again. I've said it probably like 10 times. He was all over. FSU blocks it up pretty well here with Mesidor and Thomas. Guard kicks out. Mesidor's a little upfield. And now Tommy Castellano starts escaping. We miss him here with Bain, and he's running downfield. These are the type of plays that they were able to stack up later in this half, and especially in the fourth quarter. Just playing with the lead, and we just set, like we saw this kind of in the Notre Dame game. Look at all this space, man. And as soon as the ball is hyped, look at the technique our corners are playing. Just straight bail technique. Even though there's a little bit of pass rush or outside contained rush, the middle of the pocket's still there. So he's able to step up and just make a long throw from the opposite hash. That's how much space he had because of our corner playing deep. So that's just tough. We saw a lot of this moving forward. You're going to see a couple more clips of this. There's just a little too much space, man. A little conservative on defense when they had 3 points and we were dogging them the whole game, just being aggressive. Thank the heavens for safety play here. Poiser's over the top, and Thomas is just reading the quarterback's eyes. They motion here until a trip set. Low-key a quad because the tight end's out there. They get this little fake going out here like they're going to, hit to the running back, and then they got 2 deep shots drawing up. So Castellanos wants to dial this up. They had one deep shot up the sideline in numbers, and 1 deep shot in the middle. So the safety over the top is Poiser. You have Thomas dropping underneath it. So this is 2 safeties after having so much abysmal safety play last year. 2 safeties playing over the top and underneath, bracketing their receiver. That's Squirrel White. That's their downfield threat, or one of their downfield threats, but just throwing up a wing and a prayer. Poiser was over the top. Thomas was just reading the eyes and sunk underneath it, and they were able to make a game-changing interception. Man, Thomas had, I'll say it again, he played one of the best games versus FSU that we had in recent memory. And again, I will say it. Yo, I gotta get a pair of these green gloves, bro. Those things is hard. Adidas, them things are hard. This is 1-0 is gonna hate. Marion's gonna hate. Keelan coming here tight. So 13 set. We got our tight end here in the H-back. Malley's coming down. CJ's blocking. This tight formation allows for this quick little flip. Fake the handoff around. Look at all these bodies here. He puts his foot in the ground, gets north, and starts speeding through. You see that explosive speed as he gets through? That's nice. That's lovely. Just would have loved to see just a little bit more patience, man, and he would have took that thing to the crib. Good play. Great play, honestly. Good play, but it could have been a great, great play. It was just allowing some of these blocks to develop here. Just love to see what we got from 87. Just fake inside like he's doing a counter, and now he's leading around. We got the whole convoy out here. Pancake, Markel, Brockmeyer, CC. You have to just, instead of cutting up here, I'm going outside, allowing these blocks to happen. I'm going outside. There's only one guy here. You follow this and then burst through the sideline, you're gone, fam. You are gone, fam. That was an explosive play that get us down the field, though, regardless of him scoring or not. Then we go 12 set, 2 tight ends here, backside end line. Get our offensive lineman downfield. So shout out to Pancake. He's going to make a big block right here. You got Malachi making a block, Brockmeyer with a kick block. Pancake here, Markel Bell, our tight end here. This is just a wall for CJ to follow underneath. When you talk about a jailbreak screen, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like. Look at this space for CJ. I mean, this is perfectly, you could count the numbers, 87, 70, 63, 61. That's 52 right there. That's 10. I mean, geez, that is butt to the hole, man. CJ following that thing and is able to just stack this defender up, cut inside on his leverage. 19, you had a tough day, my boy. You can't even make no open field tackle to save a tutty versus CJ. I mean, 19, you had a day. Oh, that was hilarious. I'm so happy that they let him do that in front of the camera. Not once, but twice. CJ was balling. Man, whatever 8 getting an NIL, he earned that money. Here he is coming off the edge again. Tommy Castellanos is not an easy guy to get on the ground. Screaming here off the edge. You got some stunt work here from the outside line. Bain stunting inside with Scott. And that allows Thomas off the edge to get through. And then this closing speed here. This is a sack. This ball does not get off. Such a great job here. You see him kind of like high knee and high running here just in case Castellanos tries to get outside of him. He didn't want to give it up. Once he knew that he was going this way, he fully committed with that speed and was able to wrap his legs up for that sack. Big time front place. Oh, thought he was going to do the raid again. He's like, nah, just chill. Only bust that out once. You feel me? It's not something you just do over and over again. You feel me? I mean, using his legs definitely was wearing down our defensive front. But, not like killing us, but definitely wearing us down as trying to chase this guy everywhere. We're actually dropping our DN Lightfoot in coverage here with the stunt. We're going to have Bane going inside. And once this pass protection picks up, the pass pro picks up Torre, all this is wide open. And so now Thomas comes in the field. You have Poyser here. However, so he's going to cut off this back block. This is a tough tackle for Marquise Lightfoot in space. I mean, he's a great player and he does good in space, but this is a tough ask just to be put in that position. So don't make fun of him for lunging like that. I mean, that's a tough ask for him to make that tackle against that specific player in space. Yo, Stevo, why do you keep mentioning how he's tiring out our defensive front by how much you have to run here, run there for him? Because look at plays like this. We're playing soft drop back coverage, which was allowing them to get back in the game. And then we're rushing forward. Look at the pass rush we're getting here. Castellanos has all day. Defense lineman falling back. This is Ruben Bain here. That can tell you how tired he is, because that's not the effort that we see from him all day. And just so much space here for the receivers, because we're just dropping back. So you cannot allow that much time when you're playing soft coverage. It's just not a recipe for success, and that's what we're going to see for these next god-awful few minutes of defense from the Canes. I say god-awful. Yeah, I got to say it, man. We just let them score. What? We let them get up to 22, man? This is why they're tired. Plays like this, 13 set, trips here to the right. They're rushing after this passer. We're only rushing 3. Bain gets an initial good rush. However, he steps up, and instead of crossing line of scrimmage, look at all these eyes here because of how elite of a runner he is. Everybody knows we cannot let him run into this end zone. So you see LaWayne McCoy going this way and then just breaks off back inside. Everybody's flowing here. So Bryce is flowing with here. You have 2 people who take 19 and leave 7 unaccounted for, and he just keeps the play alive up for Weezy. I'm happy for Weezy. Obviously, 7-on-7 ties with him. So happy to see he's healthy and making plays, but hate to see it, versus the Canes. Then they're able to go ahead and get this 2-point conversion as well to make it a 28-11 game. And this is when I started being like, okay, like, are we going to put this team away and finish? And we did, but it just didn't look pretty. Another result of that soft coverage we were playing. This is actually good pass rush here from Ruben Bain and Mesidor slipping inside. This is a great throw from Castellanos, but when the corner is bailing so far and your curl to flat defender doesn't get there fast enough, there's just a lot of space here. And when he was running to the opposite hash, that makes it a shorter throw. So that's why Poyser probably didn't get in there, and Weezy came back to the football. However, that's just again, a product of just playing so far back. FSU motions into another quad stack. This is, again, another tough task for Marquise Lightfoot. Dropping here, looking at the quarterback to make this one-on-one tackle in space. That is tough for him to do. That was asking a lot of him in this type of scenario. He's had a lot of success with it this year, but just going against this specific quarterback, that's a tough task for 12. And everybody's watching it. I wish I could just skip over this stuff, but it's part of the game, man. Even though this game was never really in jeopardy, they were able to make it a lot closer than what it needed to be. 2-by-2 set here. Thomas, once he indicates that he's going to go up, good pass rush initially from Marquise Lightfoot. A little bit of a tug there from 64. And as 8 steps up to make this open field tackle, because if he does not, that means Castellanos is just going to run for a first down. As soon as he declares and steps up, Castellanos is able to get it over to his safety. His safety blanket is tight end in time. They get us a 2-by-2 set here with a tight end on a whip route. They take advantage where he's going, faking it inside, then gets back out. This is actually a really good ball from Castellanos outside away from the defender. So they get that tutty. This was hell of annoying watching. We cannot let teams, climb back into games like this, even for morale. This was way closer than it needed to be. Look at this face from Coach Mario. I'm hoping they got chewed out for this, even though they celebrate that win. Quad look again. This is Weezy on a linebacker. Not a very favorable matchup. It's going to dip underneath. He was open for a long time. Castellanos just didn't see him. Makes it a lot harder than it needed to be. Diving catch or diving back catch. But again, that's a tough matchup. When a quad look, you're going to have a linebacker on a receiver. It is what it is. But that's a tough matchup to ask for a receiver to guard. A linebacker to guard a receiver like LaWayne McCoy. But you can't lie. Everybody in this thing was sweating when that ball bounced up from CJ and went that way. Thank God Wesley jumped on it, man. When that ball ricocheted off CJ's chest plate or helmet, whatever you want to say, whew, I was like, ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way, bro. Great heads up job here from Wesley jumping on it and securing it. And we go 3 and out again. Well, actually, technically 4 and out because we're going to call up this play here. It was wide open, a little bit of traffic, and Mally's not able to get there with some pressure. Caster just floated off because he's unblocked. We're trying to just get this over. The timing of the play was thrown off, so we ended up having to, turnover on downs. Even though we could have technically taken the 3 points here, I agree with the 4th down call. I'm not going to complain about us going for it. FSU sneaks in a field goal, man. They get right in, and now again, Wesley, another just great job here recovering this football, closing this game. So to go ahead, talk that ish, bro. To recover both onside kicks, the same player. Great job, Wesley. You would not think of a linebacker being on the hands team. However, certified on the hands team. Go Canes.